Hello, welcome to Mrs. Pilcher's Bookshelf. I hope this finds you well. Do you remember our book from last time? It was the Caldecott Winter book, All Moon. Wonderful story about a little girl and her father who go through the woods at night looking for an owl. And they call it owling. Have you ever gone owling? I've never gone owling, but it kind of sounds fun. Let me read you a few pages from towards the end of the book. The little girl knows she has to be super quiet. I sighed. They'd been traipsing through the woods in the snow, and Pa held up his hand at the sound. I put my mittens over the scarf over my mouth and listened hard. And then Pa called, "Hoo, hoo, 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 hoo." I listened and looked so hard my ears hurt, and my eyes got cloudy with the cold. Pa raised his face to call out again, but before he could open his mouth, an echo came threading its way through the trees. Hoo, 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 hoo. Pa almost smiled. Then he called back, "Hoo, hoo, 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 hoo," just as if he and the owl were talking about supper or about the woods or the moon or the cold. I took my mitten off the scarf off my mouth, and I almost smiled too. The owl's call came closer from high up in the trees on the edge of the meadow. Nothing in the meadow moved. All of a sudden, an owl shadow, part of the big tree shadow, lifted off and flew right over us. We watched silently with heat in our mouths, the heat of all those words we had not spoken. The shadow hooted again. Pa turned on his big flashlight and caught the owl just as it was landing on the branch. For 1 minute, 3 minutes, maybe even 100 minutes, we stared at one another. Then the owl pumped its great wings and lifted off the branch like a shadow without sound. It flew back into the forest. "Time to go home," Pa said to me. I knew then I could talk. I could even laugh out loud. But I was a shadow as we walked home. When you go owling, you don't need words or warm or anything but hope. That's what Pa says, the kind of hope that flies on silent wings under a shining owl moon. I think owls are pretty interesting creatures. So I would highly encourage you to purchase this book through your independent bookstore or the publisher. Even check it out from your local library. Just a wonderful book to read and to add to your collection. Now, this week's book is another book about a father and a son spending some time together. Now, I live in the state of Kansas, and this is a book I always do during the week of Kansas Day. Kansas Day is January 29th, and I've never lived in a state where they celebrate their statehood like they do in Kansas. And this year, Kansas turned 160 years old. So this is a great book to do during Kansas Week. Let me read you the first page. Once in the summer, on a Sunday afternoon, when there was nothing to do but wish for a quarter for the swimming pool, my father said, "Sam, time you and I went to climb a Kansas mountain." "Sure," I said, "and watch pigs fly," like he always did when nothing made sense. He knew Kansas didn't have any mountains. He'd help me make my flour dough map that barely had a bump. So I hope you can guess what this book is. It is by George Shannon. Just a great story of a boy and his dad spending time together and going on an adventure. So I hope you can guess what this book is. And you can check us out on Facebook, YouTube, or on our blog, Mrs. Pilcher's Bookshelf, and you will find our videos there as well. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will talk with you another time.